So, let me bring you to the map. So our story will begin, I think I've mentioned it to a couple of people, in northern Alea. If you'll zoom in there, if you can't see it, there's an area called the Howling Pass, which is a connective area that sort of bleeds between the Beastkins' heartland and colonial territory, where, although technically part of the colonials' holdings, it's a little far from their center of influence, and so they can't control it as tightly as they would like. So you do have the occasional Zoan tribesmen walking through the region. Specifically, our story will begin in the town of Scorn, where this night, as the camera zooms in, you'll see a relatively small village. Could comfortably hold about 100 people, but there aren't that many in here tonight. All wood. The town is just every building and the walls are all made out of felled trees that have been carpentered to size and fit specification. Um, not too many buildings, but what we do have is arranged in kind of roughly a semicircle. And in the plaza of town, constructed and has been since this town was founded, is a rather disturbingly well made hangman's noose, which has been sitting as sort of a warning threat to people for as long as Scorn has been around. But tonight, it is preparing to be in use. Everyone in Scorn is surrounding the hangman's noose, watching as two soldiers lead a young woman up the steps to the platform as the crowd watches in anticipation for tonight's events. Moon, can you describe your character to everyone?
Yeah, you see a human female in her early 20s. She's got long brown hair, tawny skin, brown eyes, and she's in like some modest clothing, nothing too stand outish, but nothing, just enough to like blend in with the crowd.
And normally she might blend in, but unfortunately tonight all eyes are on her as two soldiers from colonial authority, flanking her to the left and to the right, lead her up the steps to the platform. Her hands are behind her back, chained in cuffs, and they bring her, uh, force her to lower her head into the noose of the gallows, uh, and the crowd sort of stays hushed in awe, not just at her, but at the disturbingly large and intimidating half bear like person that yet more soldiers have waiting behind her for the second run of the noose. Drew, could you describe your character?
Yeah, so Middendorfy is a large Zoan Urso, um, fairly feral looking. If he was to be described as a real life bear for perspective, more so a Kodiak, and he is tattered in scars and other markings.
Yeah, unlike the human woman,
Hello. Hi, what's up?
Richter, your
Nothing
mic's
much.
open.
Just folding my laundry.
Richter.
Laundry. Laundry finished for the day today and all that.
Okay, I think he's fine. Um,
Hmm.
compared to the human woman who the guards seem to not really be scared of, the couple of soldiers that are sort of taking care of Middendorfy are much further back, and they seem to be leading him more with their spear points than hands, if that makes sense.
Understandable.
But down in the crowd, which it's about 20 some odd people, mostly human and some half elves, but you will see the occasional uh, member of a race that probably wouldn't pass in more polite uh, company, like a goblin or a half orc here or there. And there is a trio of recent arrivals to Scorn: a half elf, a full elf, and a half cat. I know Richter's busy, but Azur and Rainbow, do you want to describe your characters?
No. So you got my half elf character, a relatively young man with medium tan skin, currently covered up, but has a lot of tattoos. For the most part, I should say most part covered up. There is a little bit on his face as well that's easily visible. Um, like mid back length, dark brown hair, and a neatly trimmed beard, and just wearing some general traveling clothes, but over which he's wearing what looks to be like vaguely priestly garments.
All right, and Rainbow, how about how does Cal look?
Um, well, Cal is a full elf, and it's unplanned, but he actually kind of resembles Azur's character a little bit. They're both kind of darker skinned with long, darker hair. He doesn't have any tattoos, so that might be the easiest way to distinguish the both of them. And he's probably wearing um, just like kind of an old ratty dress shirt that's probably needs to be thrown in the garbage. He's worn it too many times, and just like somehow some pants and some toe boots. Very piratey.
And are you back now, Richter?
Yep.
Can you describe Mish for us?
Mist is a well, she's a half beast, specifically half cat, and she's wearing like a traditional, or what would I would assume is traditional, is like a black Chinese sleeved I don't know if you pronounce it like this way, like kipao, I think is how you pronounce it, because it's on the image on her profile, but it's sleeved. She wears like a black hat that sort of covers her ears in a way. The hat has like several red spider lilies, and she's just and like over her legs, she just like has like a pair of like tight fitting black shorts, more for mobility, as well as boots, and she's more or less just clueless as to what's going on. Like
Right,
she just stumbled in on this.
you mentioned that her ears are hidden. Has she done anything with her tail?
Wrapped around her waist, like under her shirt.
Okay, so at a glance, she would pass for human.
Yep.
All right. So the three of you have just come into town and through some tempestuous events that actually introduced you to some of these characters you now see before you on the hangman's gallows. It is at this point, with the crowd murmuring, lots of uncertainty, and people wondering what's going on and what exactly happened. One soldier will come up to stand at the front of the crowd on top of the platform. He'll call out, "You see before you here the witch who has been haunting our town. It is because of her that the demons have been attacking. Well, worry not, citizens. Tonight we will put an end to this threat to the Empire." There is yet further mumbles of uncertainty and surprise. And how does Melanie take that, Moon?
She still has a calm face about her.
So not giving too much away.
No?
Well, Still reading out to the crowd, this soldier will say, I caught her just today in the midst of the demons, uh, as they struck down several of our gentle townsfolk, and not once did they turn to look at her. And again, oohs and ahs, and most people that have had any experience with demon kind would know that's not normal. So some people begin to harden their eyes as they look up at you, but others still seem unconvinced. And it is at this point, as yet more ranting from this soldier, as they said, put your head in the noose and seem to prepare to go on with tonight's main events, that we'll flash back to how exactly we got here. So you have been traveling towards town, Melanie. You have exhausted yet more leads in your investigation in the proper colonial territory, and you thought maybe there's a chance that you might could find some more information out here at the far edges. And you had heard of Scorn. It's probably the last any kind of significant settlement of the colonials this far west. So you thought to make your journey there, and you were not too far from the town. You probably could have gotten there later in the afternoon, but you stopped on the road to eat and rest a couple miles out. And a couple of the local lumberjacks had come up and started bothering you, and the hey, there's a pretty woman out here on her own kind of a bothering, and started flirting with you, and um, probably I don't know. Does Melanie would she be receptive to that kind of attention, or more trying to get away from it?
She would play for a little bit, but make sure they're not getting too aggressive.
It's not too aggressive, generally speaking. More just cajoling you while they're taking a break from their job. And they'll talk with you for a few minutes. At some point, a soldier will come up with a woman in tow who seems to be bringing lunch to these gentlemen, and they'll talk some. And you're looking maybe for a moment to extricate yourself from this conversation to make your way on towards the town. At that point, can you make me a perception check as the first roll of the game?
This is gonna go well. Nailed it.
Rather low. So you will be just as surprised as they are when, they've been talking as is normal. No one has their guard up. There's no sense of anything wrong at all. When one of the lumberjacks will suddenly stagger forward, and after sort of tottering for a moment, he'll collapse forward onto the dirt, and everyone's just not certain what's wrong until they notice the large barbed talon sticking out of his back that seems to have just appeared there, blood already soaking the back of his shirt. Yet more talons soon follow. Some strike true, injuring the couple of humans that are around you. Some go wide and just disappear out into this clearing. None are aimed at you, however. And it is after this bombardment that the tree line ahead of you begins to part, and the first of the demons makes themselves known, shambling forward on huge, almost like gorilla-like large front hands that it kind of uses like legs to walk, as it just drags its mass out of the tree line, and plenty of smaller demons, imp-like, follow in its wake and are already reaching out to grab for the bodies that it downed. And again, not a single one looks at you.
I mean, don't want to look at gift horse in the mouth. In the mouth. In the mouth.
So what is Melanie's reaction?
Um, I think she would just try and run away from the situation.
Okay. You start to back away. No one seems to look towards you. There is you see the guard, the soldier on the ground who was struck in the leg by one of these talons, but wasn't critically injured, who's just looking up at you, shock, pleading, maybe? You're not certain. And you speak Pandemonic, right?
Yes.
Okay. You will hear as the large demon grunts out in a guttural, almost crackling language that the words don't seem to sit right in the air as he says, "The bear is behind us. Eat quickly."
And he just said that out loud.
Yeah, he said it out loud to all the gathered people. You see the imps are chattering and begin to move towards the downed bodies, and some of them indeed begin to sink their needle-like little fingers into the flesh of the already fallen and begin just tearing handfuls of sinew out and shoving it into their mouths. But you said you wished to book it.
How far away is that partially injured soldier on the ground?
Let's see here. So he looks like he is about 10 feet from you.
Can I try and grab him and pick him up and book with him?
Okay, so you're going to move over towards, let's see, that guy is the soldier.
Yeah.
So you're going to reach over to him, kind of bend down. Like I said, his leg's been shot, but he's just looking up at you as you try to help him. How are you not?
Come on, let's just go. Let's just get out of here.
Okay, make an athletics check for me. All right, 16, actually surprising. So, even with your relatively smaller form, you pick this soldier who's got like a good, few inches above you in height, up under, you're putting your shoulder under his arm. And you begin to drag him at a not too fast a pace, but southward out of this ambush. At that time, there is yet more crunching and cracking from the tree line as another figure bursts its way in from the gloom. So, Middendorfy.
Yeah, so the big old bear will appear from the tree line and let out a loud bear-like roar. He'll yell at him.
Y'all weren't the easiest to find. But playtime's over.
The larger demon sort of swivels around on its like big, uh, meaty front hands, and it just sort of looks at you and smirks with like wisps of flame coming out of around its mouth, and it speaks. You don't understand it, Melanie. You would, as it says, "It is here now. Eat." And you are still intending to drag the soldier away. Moon.
Is it cut out? Yes.
Okay. So you begin to pull him away. So you get down here. You're dragging him. I'll go ahead and say you can just, if you want to go ahead and attack Drew, you're feel free to.
All right. Yeah, Middendorfy will first rage, and he will transform his hands into razor sharp claws.
So your claws become even further claw-like.
Yeah, they become super claw.
All right, duly noted.
Okay, so yeah, he will run up to the giant demon. Hold on, I gotta remember how to do all this. And he will use, I'll start with Overwhelming Force.
All right, 20 to hit. That definitely hits.
And then,
So you can roll the damage, and then I have to do a strength DC. Ooh, not good. 13.
I think he saves. I think the DC's 12.
Yeah, okay. So you come barreling out of the tree line with your overly bestial claws, and you just lay into this demon who, as intimidating as you are, the demon is a fair bit even bigger than you are. And you lay into him with a good bit of damage, but he is not thrown back and knocked to the ground by your charge.
Okay, I'm gonna follow up with a claw swipe then. Oof.
Yeah, unfortunately, that one does not connect. You kind of expected him to be thrown down, so you aimed low, but the last second it just goes between his the arms that he's balancing himself on. So at that moment, he will strike back at you. So he
Oh,
will. Oh, go ahead.
I don't. Oh, the damage didn't add its the +2 from raging.
Okay, duly noted. Let me see. You see, the there's a rage global damage modifier below your weapons. If you check that box, it'll add it.
Oh, there it is.
But yeah, so 9 damage total. He will raise one of these mighty arms with its own wicked talons at you. That is a 20 to hit.
That hit.
All right, so 2d6 for 6 damage halved because that's slashing, so you would take 3.
Okay.
So these two colossal warriors, one animal-like, one demonic, begin to just throw down in the middle of this clearing in the woods as you decide, with probably a good deal of wisdom, Melanie, that it is time to get as far away from here as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to drag the soldier down the road, and I know combat rounds are 6 seconds, but for the sake of convenience here, we'll say that Middendorfy is fighting for a while, and you're actually able to get a good bit of distance away from this battlefield when coming up the road in this direction, kind of more hurriedly now as they have heard the sound of conflict, is a trio of travelers that make a bit of a motley crew. But so Cal and Mish and forgetting your name, Azur.
Vinali.
Vinali. The three of you will see this young human woman dragging an injured and bleeding member of the colonial soldiery, and she seems in a bit of a state.
Huh. Can we hear the sound of like battle, basically?
So what you'll hear, it sounds an awful like a real life bear is fighting another real life bear.
Bear Wars. If you've watched enough
Huh.
Animal Planet, you know what that sounds like.
Hark, I
Bears,
hear
huh?
the sounds of a kaiju battle in the distance.
All slow and dramatic too.
Cal's gonna go ahead and go help her. Uh, she was kind of helping the soldier walk, right?
Almost more like half dragging him, but yes.
Yeah, he's gonna go offer her some help.
Okay, I guess you and I should do something about that, huh?
I'll do what I can.
Okie doke.
Yeah, so Melanie, this elf man will bend down and help you pick up the soldier who this whole time has been muttering different variations of how how did we how did you things to that effect, and when finally taken off your shoulders, the elf seems to have an easier time lifting him to stand.
Thank you. We should get him back to town as soon as possible.
Yeah, probably, but uh, we should probably get rid of the two rampaging bears that are gonna wreck the town.
Well, it's a man bear and a demon.
I mean, Demon's got himself preoccupied. I think the bear can take care of it.
Wait, wait. Is the bear also part pig?
Pig?
You know, man, bear, pig.
I
Wait, when
didn't
did
give
the
that
bear
good of a
become a
look.
man?
Well, I need to see this now. And like, she'll actually run ahead.
Okay, so are the other two following her, or is it just Mish?
Vinali will follow as well. He wants to lend aid in a battle against demons.
So the two of you rush up into the clearing. I will say, in this run of this scuffle, the two of you wound up here. They've traded blows back and forth. You see, this imp here has just not cared about that and has spent this time gorging himself on the bodies laid out before him. But
Hmm.
you see this bear guy is actually doing a pretty good job of holding his own against this like dark gray skinned, spined all over, uh, large gorilla like demon that is just bashing him with his claws and taking claws back in turn.
Hmm. Maybe we should try and get rid of the tiny one before it gets too big.
If you want to focus on that, I'll try to help out with the bear.
Okie doke. Check if it's a pig, will ya?
Just shrug
Um,
my shoulders at that and move forward.
All right. So at this point, how about we go ahead and have everyone roll initiative, which I do in Roll20 through a method that I do not remember. There you go.
All of us.
Unless you don't want to participate in the battle or something.
That is 2 nat ones in a row. Gotta love it.
Yep.
That's a feels bad moment.
I'll be honest, it's been like a year since I've played D&D, and I don't remember where to find any of these things.
If you click on the word initiative in your character sheet, it should roll it for you.
That's top dead center of the core page.
Right in between your movement speed and
That's
armor
what I was
class.
looking for. Okay. Well, it says my token is not there.
Right. 1 second. There you go. There's your token.
Okay, Grandma's got it. I'm sorry.
All right. You still? Were you not wanting to fight at all, Melanie?
I roll initiative, but it didn't pop up.
All right. Let me add turn, and you were
I have an 11.
11. Okay. All right. So we'll start off things with a finale.
Okay. I am going to open up with a casting of Mind Sliver on this demon ahead of me.
The large one.
Yes.
Alrighty. Is that is a save? Yeah. So let's see. So that's an 11 plus 6, so 17. So he will pass.
Okay, so no damage then. And my bonus action, I will go ahead and cast Spiritual Weapon. And haven't really given any thought to what my Spiritual Weapon is actually going to look like. For now, we'll just say a sword for simplicity's sake will appear opposite the bear behind the demon and make a quick slash at it.
Alrighty. Once you figure that out, I'll try and make a token for it.
Does a 13 hit?
Let's see. A 13 does not.
Okay.
I will say, so you conjure this spiritual sword, and it goes to slash out at this creature, and it actually connects on his back perfectly fine. But the skin is so tough or durable that it doesn't cut, it doesn't pierce through, and this sword kind of just hovers there a bit sadly.
Fair enough. And I will stay where I am. That's my turn.
Alrighty, so Mish, you are next.
Mish is actually going to walk up behind this imp and actually, with a flourish, whip out Charity as a spear and attempt to run it through.
Alrighty, so alright, so you're doing the two-handed version of it.
Yep. Like she's like trying to go for a back attack if it's distracted.
Yeah, and it is sitting on the sort of chest stomach of this woman, and uh it's already long past ripped out her throat, and it's just sort of like picking up the blood from the hole in her throat and eating it as it is refilling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like,
So that is an 8. That does not hit, unfortunately.
aw. And she's like, "Hey, get off that! That's disgusting!" Like she like swings.
Okay, yeah, it despite being preoccupied, it just is it's these things are like the size of like roughly like a goblin or so, and it's just so small and wiry. It just sort of flattens itself down on top of her, and your swing goes over, and it just looks up at you, mouth red, and it just sort of doesn't speak. It chitters like clacking at you, almost like like how a cat can chirp, but far wronger sounding than that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Hang on, I'm looking. No, nothing else. Like, she's just trying to get it off right now. Like, get that thing off.
Alrighty. All right, Melanie, it is your turn.
She's gonna keep helping to get the soldier away, but she'll turn around and do an Eldritch Blast at that imp.
Alrighty. $19 definitely hits.
No, that didn't work.
Yeah, if you click the name of it in the chat, it should roll the damage.
Yeah. Woo, max damage.
Ooh, wow. That hurt it rather a lot. You guys will miss. You'll see it duck down from your spear, but kind of whizzing from out past where you came from. Just this firebolt will singe forward and just like take out half of the imp's back and just char it and singe it with magic.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not like that. And you said you're taking the soldier even further off the map.
Yeah.
Right. I'll say you take him another 15 feet or so. You see him. Cal would have helped him take the barb out of his leg, and after you get him far enough away from the battle, after a certain point, the soldier ducks out from under your underneath your arm and just starts booking it towards Scorn.
You're welcome.
And he's screaming, bloody murder of demons, demons, and just sort of hobble running towards the town.
Miss just rolls her eyes at that, like, drama queen.
All right, Cal, it is your turn.
Well, I went ahead and moved my token over that way. I was next to her like I should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Since I am in straight range, like straight from the imp there, I might try to go ahead and throw a dagger at it from here. That way I don't gotta get too close if it's AMD.
All right, you can just use the regular dagger weapon. It works for range too. Oh yeah, that hits. So be sure to check your sneak attack because it is next to Mish, and then roll the damage.
Is that right?
That did not roll the sneak attack.
I only clicked on the damage modifier for the sneak attack. That was my bad.
Oh no, that's another attack roll.
Okay, I'm confused then. I checked the sneak attack and then I clicked on where it says damage for sneak, and that was what the 11 was.
She didn't roll the damage for the dagger yet. That's what's missing.
Oh, so did you not? You didn't click the dagger damage?
I clicked the name of it.
Interesting. I don't know why the dagger damage didn't.
I think it's only showing 2d6, and the dagger would be 1d4.
Okay, it works when I did it there.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, so you did at least 11 damage with the snake attack, and it had 7 HP left, so it's kind of irrespective.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He did.
He did.
So, You see Mish as this dagger, normal, ordinary iron thing, suddenly appears like in between the imp's eyes, which you see are actually empty sockets, just dark. Uh, as it was sort of chittering, screeching at you, just suddenly dagger meets forehead, and then just as suddenly its voice stops and it falls completely flat and limp on top of this dead woman.
Well, Miss just turns to the other two. Thanks. And then turns to. I'm assuming these two are alive.
So those are the two lumberjacks. They are unconscious, and without checking them, you can't confirm they're alive, but they're not as visibly like murdered as the girl was.
They're not
Okey-doke.
visibly dead.
They don't have their throats torn out.
Okay.
If you would like, you could check them on your turn for
Yeah.
if they are alive or just unconscious. But
Yeah. She'll wait for her turn then.
all right, so now it is the brute demon's turn. And seeing this its imp friend fall, and seeing the sudden arrival of multiple enemies that it wasn't expecting to fight, uh, you'll watch Middendorfy as it turns from its duel with you, its glaring molten eyes back down the road, and it just charges directly at Vinali. So it will leave your threat range, so you get your opportunity attack.
Okay. Let's see here.
All right, so a 16 just misses.
Darn.
So unfortunately, you try to scrabble after it, but it probably just didn't occur to you that it was going to flee from this duel you were having.
Do I get my claw attack follow up?
Not for an opportunity attack, I don't think.
Okay.
I'll have to read that, but I don't think so. So, charging directly at you, Vinali, you see this hulking behemoth barrel down the road at you, and as it brings its claws up, 2, 3 plus. Oh, that's not good. A 9.
Yeah, that'll miss.
That is unfortunate for him. Um, it just brings the claws down to try and literally barrel you over, and I kind of maybe imagine you just stepping aside, Matador style.
Yeah, that suits him.
It comes up short and is unable to lay into you. I had advantage on that, and I rolled a 2 and a 3.
We take those.
Yeah. All right. Now, that will hit, and that won't. Okay, so one will miss, but Middendorfy, uh, a series of barbs suddenly appears behind you from the tree line. Some of them hit and fail to pierce your fur, but you do take 8 points of piercing damage as one of them buries itself in your clavicle.
So 4 then from.
Yeah, because you're raging.
All right.
It appears that there might be more imps lurking in the woods. Now it is your turn, Middendorfy.
Well, the big guy is my target, so I'm gonna go after the big guy. Middendorfy will charge at the larger demon, and he's going to attack recklessly.
Alrighty.
And he will use overwhelming force again. Oof.
13 will not hit.
Okay, he will follow up with a claw attack then.
20 will, however. So 7 damage. Alrighty. This thing has taken a few blows from you. No one else damaged it, but even with the damage it has taken, it appears to still be standing strong. All right, so now top of the round, Vinali, it's back to you.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and yeah, this thing is still the only threat I can see, so I'm going to go ahead and cast Fairy Fire and just try and only catch it in the area of effect.
All right, that is a like 10-foot area,
20-foot cube.
20-foot cube. So
If I go south with it, I think I can catch the bottom corner of it.
yeah, you probably could. Yeah. All right, so Fairy Fire.
And that's a dex save.
That's probably not good. Let's see, 5 plus 4 is 9.
Nice. So now every attack roll has advantage against it, and it can't turn invisible if that's an option for it.
All right, what color is the Fairy Fire?
I'll go with a dark purple.
So even though this creature has some like bits of flame coming out of its own body, you'll all see these motes of almost like dancing lights, bright purple, just clinging to it and uh, helpful for you, distracting for it locations on its body, and it can't seem to wipe them away.
And bonus action, I will move the spiritual weapon in to make another slash attack.
Yeah, that would have enough reach, so go ahead and do an attack with advantage.
21.
Yeah, that'll hit. Oof, that hit that. It felt that. All right, yeah. So this time, successful spirit sword cleaving into his back, and his skin is not thick enough this time.
And I'm not going to risk the opportunity attack. I'm going to stand my ground.
Alrighty. All right, Mish, it is your turn.
Can the spear hit from here if it has reach?
So if you move one to the left, yes.
Okay. So she's going to attempt to strike the big guy.
Okay. Do you wish to activate your rights on your weapon, or are you just going to strike plain?
Because the way how I understood it, like they were bonus actions.
Yeah, it's a bonus action to hurt yourself and apply the enchantment.
So like, could I? I thought like I would hit, and then if it hits, that's when the effect kicks in.
No. So it's kind of like raging. You would take a bonus action to apply the effect, and then you would attack, and if it works, you'll do the bonus damage.
Okay. And then in that case, then you'll see her just like literally pull out a small dagger, grip the blade, and just pull out the blade, and now it's there's blood everywhere, and now you notice it's also on fire. So she's using her right of the flame.
All right. So the spear tip of your magitech weapon is coated in your burning blood.
So I have to roll 1d4 first.
Yeah, that's
Because
the
that's the
damage you
cost.
take.
Oh, lovely.
Oof. But now you may make your attack roll with advantage, and if it hits, you'll do some extra damage.
Okie doke. Oh, for God's sake, really?
Unfortunately, a 15 does not hit. But to be clear, the flame enchantment lasts for a while. It's not like a one-turn thing.
Yeah, but it's like I hate roll 20 because that's the second. That's another 15. What the fuck?
This thing is kind of difficult to hit. You've noticed from your companions that its hide is abnormally tough.
Hmm.
So, any other movement or?
Um, she'll stand where she is.
All right, Melanie then.
Okay, Melanie's going to turn to the demon, just give it a little huff, and bonus action will cast Hex.
Alrighty. There's no save for Hex, right?
No, it just goes onto it.
Alrighty, it
And
has
I
been
will give it disadvantage on strength ability checks.
alrighty.
And then I will do Eldritch Blast again.
Roll for the attack, and with advantage.
Right. Advantage. Ugh.
Ooh, I let me double check. Yeah, 16 just misses. So even with the lights clinging to it and helping you guys make out, its weak points, uh, it's not necessarily because of its agility that this thing is tough. It takes damage and it just doesn't seem to have any effect on it. Any other movement or anything?
No, she'll just stay there.
All right, Cal, it's back up to you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have him go ahead and scoot up here and try to yank the dagger that he had used out of what's left of the imp.
All right, no worries.
Um, Actually, he'll take a step back again so he can throw that same dagger at the demon because he does not want to get too close to him.
All right, that will be a attack roll with advantage. You should be able to click a toggle like on the top of your sheet that will roll it for you.
Is that right?
Yeah, so 21 will definitely hit. So make sure your sneak attack is clicked and go ahead and roll damage. Oof. Couple of ones there, but 8 damage. Alrighty.
I think that'll be it for him.
Okay, demon's turn. It's still feeling fairly confident, so it's going to leave your threat range again, Middendorfy, and swing around this side of Finale. A 17 will hit. Okay, so 10 damage, felt that, and then strength save. 9, 15, so it will pass.
All right.
And then, yeah, so you did do some damage on its way back. Now it is going to, from this other side of you, Vinali, attempt to physically lift you off your feet. So I need you to make a DC 14 strength save.
Okay. Nice.
Ooh. So, Tiny Elf is frustrating this demon as it attempted to throw you, barrel you over. You stepped aside it. It's now attempting to pick you up, kaiju style, and just you physically like peel its grasping hand off from around you, and it's just been stymied in every opportunity it's tried to take to deal with this annoying figure before it.
Not today.
Okay, so then let me see. A couple of imps from the woods at this point. You're gonna take one still Middendorfy, but the next nearest person now is actually Cal. So against Middendorfy, that is a 21
Definitely a hit.
and a 22 against Cal.
Cal's what?
Your armor class. I think that hits you.
Yeah, it does. Rip.
All right, so 11 against Middendorfy, so halved to 5. And then that is 7 against you, Cal.
1 second, bear back.
As again from the tree line, unseen, just more of these barbs come flying out at you guys and stick into your backs while you're turned away from them. Drew said he'd be back. Do you
I'm
wanna...
here.
Okay, so your turn.
All right. Once again, I'll charge into the large demon, and I will use overwhelming power again. Oh, and I'll be attacking recklessly.
Well, so to be clear, it has advantage already because of fairy fire, so that would just be hurting you.
Oh, ow. Never mind then.
But unfortunately, a 12 will not land.
No. Claw follow.
No, not today.
He's a tough bastard.
Yep. So now, unless you had anything else.
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, so Vinali.
I'll go ahead and give Mind Sliver another shot. See if that takes root this time around. Low damage on that.
That is a 13. So actually, that will work for 1 psychic damage.
And he subtracts a d4 from the next saving throw he makes before the end of my next turn.
Okay, duly noted. So, all right.
And Spiritual Weapon in for another attack.
All right.
13, not going to cut it.
Nope, not yet, unfortunately. Still gonna stay where you are?
Yep. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and use my favored by the gods and try and do something better with that 13.
Alrighty, and
Does a 19 hit?
yes, a 19 does.
Another 9 force damage.
Okay, so at that point, you will see with the. I guess like your sword maybe went in to hit, and you had a brief flash of inspiration to maybe angle it another way. Would that be kind of how you're envisioning it?
Yeah, perhaps some divine guidance readjusts my aim at the last moment.
Yeah, and then that attack will connect, right? And you'll see it kind of this sword cut into not quite the back of his like shoulder, but more like into his armpit area, and that seems to actually be a softer part of the demon's hide, and it actually sort of crumples. That, like as I said, it's kind of holding itself up on its forearms, and it seems to like slump to the left as it reels from that blow and sort of lose a bit of height. Yeah, it is now looking more pressed and injured.
All right, that'll be my turn.
All right, Mish, it is your turn.
Um. Hmm.
Seems like your friends have the brute demon on the ropes, pushing him down, but you have seen a couple of volleys of barbs from the woods that no one has addressed yet.
So Mitchell just waltz over here to at least get cover these two, even if they're hopefully they're still alive.
Alrighty.
And does she see anything over here?
Make an investigation check.
For fuck's sake, really?
Actually, that works.
It does.
He rolled really
Jesus.
low on his stealth. So you will see in sort of the fallen sticks and stuff around this region, an imp has just been hiding behind this tree and hacking its spines out in your direction. Let's see, I think you only moved like 5, 10, 15, like 20 feet. You do have like another 10 feet of movement if you wanted.
Is that the only one she saw?
That is the
And
only
like it
one.
has.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Like, is that the only one that she saw? Like the, because you said there were multiple like shots being thrown about.
Right, with your roll, that is the one that you were able to find.
Okay. Then she'll just move up here and just like hold a defensive posture.
Okay. Melanie, it is your turn then.
Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah, that hits.
Hmm.
4. Okay, so you blast the creature. This is force damage, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You blast the creature with your magics. It is once again, it kind of reels a bit in the pain. That's frustrated with these lights. Yet again, that's given you all so much opportunity attacks against it, but it's still standing for the moment. Any other action or movement?
No, nothing.
Alrighty, Cal, one more time.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna scoot down here so I'm not in line of hitting anybody else, and I will pew pew at him one more time.
Let's see. That will miss, but you had advantage on the attack, so
Oh, I
roll
didn't.
again.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, that one will also miss, unfortunately.
Well then. Alright, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. And get out of little Miss's way, that way she can do more damage.
Okay. Would you like to use your like bonus action? You could dash. Do you have anywhere like movement wise you'd like to go?
No, I feel like he's probably pretty focused on the big bad right now. I did move him already a little bit, so.
Alrighty. Well, Demon's turn then, and even as injured as it is, it's determined to try and get one last good shake at taking out a foe before it. So, Vinali, you have frustrated it. So,
Yeah, I would imagine so.
one more DC 14 strength save for me, please.
There it is.
Okay. This time, last minute wiles are not enough to protect you as it takes its still good arm and picks you up sort of by the waist and literally beats Middendorfy with you. So, let's do this. Vinali, roll a d20 for me. All right, so does a 17 plus 5, 22 hit your AC?
Yes.
All right, so you will take, or you both will take, I should say, a 10 bludgeoning damage, so that'll be halved for you, Middendorfy. Right.
Fairy Fire stays up.
Okay. And as he like releases you in this kaiju throw, you hit Middendorfy, damage him, and you sail past another 10 feet to be over here.
Understood.
But that is his action. Effective or not, he seems as satisfied as a demon can be that he actually hit you. And then, actually, that was tactical of him. Well, not when the imps roll a 2, but that one's a 19. So, Mish, you have a hit at 24 against your AC. Richter,
I'm sorry, what?
24 against your AC.
I mean, yeah, that hits.
All right. So 7 piercing damage as the one in front of you objects to your presence.
Hmm.
And you'll see this imp. I mean, so like I said, they're these little goblin-sized, gray-skinned demons. You don't see any actual like barbs on it, so you're curious where these attacks have been coming from until it rears back and tries to like spit at you, and the thorns just come up out of its throat like it disgorges in your direction.
Wonderful.
All right, and one of them tried to attack you, Vinali. Oh, you are prone, by the by. So
Okay.
I should have actually rolled a disadvantage then for the ranged attack, right? But it rolled a 2 anyway.
Yeah.
So now it's Middendorfy's turn.
All right. Overwhelming power. Is the fairy fire still on him?
Yes. That's unfortunate.
I even set you up with the Mind Sliver and everything.
Oh my god. All right. I guess claws. I guess. Nope.
Actually, 15.
Yeah.
With the way it is leaning down now, with the way like the spiritual weapon already like injured its stance by taking out one of its arms, the 15 will hit.
Oh, sweet.
10. Okay, how do you want to do this?
So I'm going to try and do like the bear slap, and it's not gonna pan out. So he's then gonna follow up with the other arm in the opposite direction, and just like you know when like a child is like flailing their arms back and forth, kind of like that, but with as much force as he can muster with his claws, and just scrape at him.
All right, yeah. Off balance as this thing is, like even after it dodges the initial shove, like it almost seems to like kind of be at risk of falling over on top of you, and you use that momentum from both it falling and your attack to just drive your claws up into its sort of chest, and the skin it's thick. It's like trying to like poke through like a million layers of saran wrap, if that makes sense. Like as you can feel it pierce, and you feel it like hitting deep inside this monster's chest. Your fingers are warm, like the tips of your claws are physically hot inside of its body. But it has expired.
Then Middendorf will let out a loud bear roar.
All right, Vinali, or unless you wanted to move or anything, Drew.
Uh, can I see if I can locate where the because I probably don't know that one in the top right there. Can I see if I can sniff out the hiding cowards?
Well, I would say that would be an action, but why don't you roll me a perception check?
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do that at advantage.
We'll just take in the first one at a 5. You know, because you've been hit by a couple, that they were behind you in the tree line, but you're not sure closer than that.
All right, I'm just gonna charge this way. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Finale, it is your turn then.
I would like to do the same thing. Try and spot where these other imps are hiding.
So, investigation check.
Oof, no luck.
6. Yeah, unfortunately. I'll roll stealth just in case it's like a 1, but nah. He still is hiding.
And I don't see that other one to the right, I'm assuming, either.
Actually, I think you have line of sight of him. You'd have to probably stand up and potentially move closer, but you can see him.
I'll stay, because I don't need it for what I'm planning on doing. I'm just going to stay on the ground where I am for now and just kind of keep myself a little bit more covered from their attacks. And since I don't need fairy fire anymore, drop concentration on that and just reach a hand up towards the sky. This is like the middle of the day still yet.
Yeah.
And anybody that bothers to look up will see that weird sort of reflection of the moon that you sometimes see in the middle of the day, and a moonbeam will come down and strike at this other imp.
Alrighty.
I don't know why it's not showing the save DC there. Where is it? Constitution saving throw DC 14.
5 plus. Nah, that is a 6.
So 9 radiant damage.
9 radiant. Okay, and yeah, you have not hit this one yet, Mish. So it still is standing, but as this beam of moonlight just sort of falls spotlight on it and begins to sort of like char its flesh, it just repeats the prior cackling and like clicking noise. It thinks it's you that did that, Mish.
Mm.
So it just sort of screeches at you as it's in pain.
I should have clarified, because it was my action to look before, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I will use, because I was going to do this because I figured it would be an action anyway. Use Quicken Spell to cast Moonbeam as a bonus.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it took that damage. Anything else from you?
That's it.
All right, Mish, it is your turn. You have an angry, spot-lidded imp that is screeching at you.
If she transition it from spear to rapier, will it lose the burning effect?
No.
Okay. So she's actually gonna charge it, and then as she approaches, she's going to flip it from spear to rapier and attempt to run it through.
Okay. Ooh, a 17 will hit. Roll damage. 6. Okay, and it took 9. Yeah, that is good. Ooh, 1 fire. But
I'm half tempted to pull out my own dice because I seriously hate Roll20 right now.
well, hey, it's enough. So to paint the scene, Mish just charges at this imp. You guys who can have a perspective will see her sort of twist the back end of her spear, and at about midway through the length, it will disconnect, the back half of it turning into more of a cylindrical sheath, which she'll put back at her belt. But then what remains transforms back into a rapier, which she will uh, literally run the imp through, like skewer him in the chest and kind of hold him up, French duelist style.
Okay. Now, where's your friends at? Oh, wait, you're dead.
Yeah, it kind of like does a last chitter chitter, and then it's just head slumps forward, and you see just tiny, not fully formed spines yet sort of leak out of its mouth along with its drool that just plops against the ground.
Ew. And she just like throws it on the floor.
All right, Melanie, you're up.
Do I see any more imps in the forest?
Would you like to check?
Sure.
All right, so if you'll roll investigation for me, and I'll move you up a little bit. Okay, 15. That's probably good. Yes. All right. You look around. You're not sure because you haven't personally been attacked, so you're not sure where to look. But you just scan the tree line. Oh,
Why am I dead?
that's my bad. That's what I meant to do. Okay. Um. So anyway, you scan the tree line and you see off actually close to Middendorfy. You see another one hiding back in the tree line.
I will point it out to the group, saying, there's another one over there. And I'll move my hex over to it.
Okay, duly noted.
I'll give it disadvantage on dexterity checks.
All right, that'll be useful if it tries to hide again. Cal?
You said, like, over in this area by Midi.
It's up here.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't have my thing zoomed out all that quite that far. Okay. I don't think I'd be able to cross that far in movement, could I? Go kick its butt.
The farthest you could get would be there. And yeah, you could hit it then.
Okay, yeah, I'll throw something at it. this still have advantage or no?
No, that would be normal.
Okay, I thought so.
12. 12 actually hits, yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you don't have sneak attack on it. That's unfortunate. But 4 damage still. It takes another dagger, sort of in its shoulder. That is you're out of the ones you had right now. One of them is in the big demon, and one of them is in it now.
Alright. I think I might heckle it a little bit and be like, yell at it to just get on out here before you join your friends, and that'll probably be the end of my turn.
Alrighty. It is incapable of speech, but it screeches at you.
Understood.
And yeah, you're closer now. So does a 14 hit your AC?
Me?
Yes, you.
No. My AC is 15.
Okay, you actually are able to dodge the spine. Right,
Excellent.
Mr. Bear.
All right, Mr. Bear is going to charge at it bear style. And hit it with that good. So I keep needing to. What is it? Reckless attack. Sorry, I keep forgetting to say that beforehand.
That's fine. A 13 will hit it.
Awesome.
Get the impression that the imps were a lot more vulnerable and were being protected by the big one.
Just swat at him.
8 okay, it rolled an 8 minus 2, so 6 DC.
Oh. He's gonna get. Let's see. Let's knock him south.
Well, you have to knock him away from you.
Oh, okay. Let's knock him to the left there.
Okay, just 1 or 2 squares?
1 square.
So you run up to its sort of like perch and just like go low, hit the claws under and just kind of scoop and toss it.
Then I will do my last bit of movement and follow up with a claw attack.
Oh yeah, that'll hit. And with that, you kill another imp.
All of my claw attacks been max damage.
They've been high.
Yeah, I'm just gonna gut this thing like a trout.
Yeah, so you scoop and toss it, and as it is trying to pick itself back up to attack, you just come back over and skewer it into the ground.
Start mauling it with my claws.
And as this imp perishes, no further attacks come your way. Battlefield grows still, and it seems that this conflict is over.
We'll go ahead and pop a healing word each on the 2 lumberjacks.
Alrighty. You'll notice the one north by Mish is already died. Let me check. The one to the south failed a death save and then rolled a natural 20, so he actually begins to perk up. So the one to the north perished, but he is this lumberjack's kind of clutching at like his chest and tries to like rise a little bit. Like, who's going on?
Mish will offer him a hand. Easy, easy. Come on. Like, take it easy for now. Apparently, you guys were unfortunately targeted by demons for some godforsaken reason. But hey, you survived. Your shirt'll come in the mail.
This human lumberjack will just kind of look up at you, more confused than before you spoke, and say, "Demons, but I. Did you?"
At this moment,
We killed him.
Sorry, Drew.
Mitty will walk out of the woods carrying the small spine demon with.
And the lumberjack will scream and say, "Demon!"
No, 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 that's the one that killed the demon. He's not a demon himself.
Wait,
I'm
Just
at least 75% sure.
he'll just kind of like clutch at your waist, kind of like pulling down your dress a bit, and you'd have to
Oi,
like
oi,
kick to shake him off.
oi, oi, hands off! Don't worry, I'll stand by you if you need it. Just calm down. Deep breaths. In and out, that's it. Come on.
It's a little almost jarring to see this fully grown man, acting as scared as a child in front of what's happened to him.
Well, he's been through a lot and he's the sole survivor. So, we can give him a pass. Probably.
Okay. Um, was anyone else doing something right away?
I think Vanali would be studying the big demon. He's never seen one before.
Okay. Make a religion check.
Oof, no.
Yeah. It's a demon, definitely. There's no doubt about that. It's big, it's scary. You don't think you've heard of this particular type or variant before, however.
Hmm.
So, sort of as the quiet returns to this clearing and the deaths settle in, you guys will look around and begin to see the telltale signs of that in this world as bubbling up from the woman's like torn throat. The blood has ceased flowing as freely now, but now blue begins to come up, light and bright, and casting even a bit of a dim glow even in the noon sun, as within a few moments a blue sort of intangible ball of flame is just floating above her torn throat. Within time, a similar thing will appear from the guy beside her. From all the demon corpses, a similar effect, but red and crimson and pulsing angrily.
Mhm. Um, at that Mish would actually approach like the two ones that came out of the humans and actually just like do something like akin to like a last rites. Pretty much just send them on their way.
And actually, Mish,
Mm.
what you see, given what we talked about with your backstory,
Mhm.
you see the woman in made of blue sitting sort of overlapping with the actual body, and she's clutching at her intangible throat, trying to like find it, and her hands just are sinking through it, and nothing's there. The guy is sort of reaching out to her to try and comfort her, but his hands also just pass through her, and she can't seem to notice him. And it's only moments as these blue figures already become less and less opaque and disappear.
Mhm. Like she'll nod her head in like respect, and she'll actually peer down at like the woman's corpse. Like, is there, like, was there like a necklace or something, or was she just like trying to grasp at a wound?
It's hard to tell. Not much of her throat column is left intact, unfortunately.
Hmm. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so she just finishes off like doing what like is this just like a small prayer for these two before pulling out Charity and like looking ready to just slice the red soul in twain.
Alrighty. How about the rest of you?
Mitty will be gathering the demon corpses and putting them in a pile.
Alright, easy enough to do. So you've collected the bodies. Do you try to move the spirits?
No. Going to light the corpses on fire.
Okay. They will catch. It takes them a surprisingly very long time to burn. The fire seems resistant to consume them, but over the course of 20 minutes or so, eventually the flames will pick up and eventually you'll have a little bonfire going.
Morbid question.
Hmm.
Does demon flesh smell different when it's burning than human flesh?
Fundamentally, no. I will say, if anything, maybe more notes of sulfur, maybe more sort of rotten egg smell, but it's light. The differences are minor.
Alright, I'm satisfied. Cal has been gathering up his daggers, put back in his holster.
Alrighty.
And then, after appropriately seeing like the two souls off, she'll turn to the last living guy and say, and she'll offer him like a healing potion here if you need it.
He'll kind of look down at the offered flask and just, oh no, I couldn't take something so valuable, please. You've already saved my life.
All right, well, she'll help him to his feet. Like, so tell me about yourself. What's been going on here?
He kind of looks around and he's attentive, but he seems distracted by the two azure orbs there of presumably what had been his friends, and he keeps looking between you and them. He'll kind of answer a bit somberly. We were lumber workers out of Scorn, just up ahead. We were, and he looks, and he'll catch your eye, Melanie, and he'll say, "Found a woman out here, and we're just talking. We weren't doing anything."
Hmm. Kind of weird for demons to just randomly attack. Normally they have a purpose. But regardless, at least you're alive and we can get you back to town. Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay, the lumberjack will. He seems now fixated on you, Melanie.
Will Mish notice this?
I mean, you'll see him staring at her.
Uh, Something wrong?
He'll, just. He seems to kind of steel himself and ask, Did you see they were coming?
Me? No, I didn't see that. I was just having a lovely conversation with you guys.
The way you dodged the first volley, it seemed like you were expecting it.
Hearing that, Mitchell get defensive, actively putting herself in between him and Melanie.
Are you accusing me of something?
He kind of falters a bit and like looks around, and uh, it's difficult because he's not actually aware of what all has transpired in the fight, but seeing that you seemingly have stuck around. No, I don't know, stranger. We were talking to you, and then they died.
Well, I am at a loss at what they were doing here just as much as you are.
Right. Well, uh, if you wouldn't mind, he's talking to you now, Mish.
Hmm?
We should get back to the village and warn the others.
Alright.
Did you have a cart by which you were going to transport your lumber?
He'll nod and he'll motion back towards the other side of the clearing a ways and say, uh, over there we had just started collecting.
I think we should perhaps use the cart to bring the bodies back.
Yes, that would be fine. So do you all begin to move that way?
Yeah.
He
Though,
will. Oh, go ahead.
Mish is actually gonna be on guard. Although, like, she'll actually patch up her hand first, to prevent it from bleeding. But, like, she'll still have, like, that ritual dagger, like, hidden under her sleeve.
Alrighty. He will lead you all towards his lumber cart. Uh, once he gets there and he begins sort of uh, untethering it from where he had tied it up and getting the horses prepared, uh, you see him look askance at the giant bear that's following you all.
Oh, he's fine. He's the one who helped protect. He's the one who helped fight them off.
Uh,
when he shoots a glance at the bear's gonna give him a toothy grin.
I know that we are rather close to the border, but forgive me, I'm not used to your kind coming out this far.
I'm still not used to your kind being here.
Right. Well, forgive me. It's been an odd day. I do not mean to cast such doubts on my saviors. So you guys are able to get the bodies. To be clear, is anyone doing anything with either of the spirits?
Mish will actually come back. Like, is there any way for her to, you know, send them off, like, through, like, an exorcism or prayer? Because I know, like, I know my class has something called Rite of the Exorcist, but can she do something like that right now?
To help the human souls, or to like cleanse the demon ones?
To help the human souls move on.
So make a religion check.
I'll assist with that if I can.
Okay, you can make a roll with advantage then. I mean, simple answer. You know, as a denizen of this world, as everyone does, that if you leave them alone long enough, give it another couple hours, and they won't be here. They'll sink down into the ground, and where they go after that, people. I mean, their ideas, but different clergies will have different answers they give, but no one knows for sure.
She's more concerned of them being a meal for any other demons in the area.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's not much you can do to expedite that process. You could transport them to somewhere safe and let them naturally fade there, but you can't make them go quicker.
Oh. So she'll just like call out to the two spirits. Hello, hi. Like she'll just wave in front of their faces.
Oh, the person-like spirits, they faded within the first few moments of you seeing them. You only see the orbs now.
Oh. So like can she like put her hands like around one of the orbs as of like picking it up slightly?
Yeah, it's strange. They are completely intangible. They look like literally blue flames, and as your hand passes through them, it's a very weird feeling of like static electricity and fire that's feels like fire but is not hot at all. But it's
Mm-hmm.
completely intangible. Your hand passes right through it. But as you kind of lift up under them, it like keeps a gravity like orbit from your palm and it lifts up with your hand.
Mm-hmm. So she'll just like hold on to these two and turn to Vinali. He's like, so yeah, we're gonna need to send these two off as soon as we can. The bodies we can't really do much unless we want to carry them with us, but these are kind of the priority. And she points to the two soul orbs as they are.
Well, if you can handle that, we can get the bodies into the cot and bring them back to this village for a proper burial.
Alright, I can hold on to them for the time being.
All right, so you guys load up the bodies. You package all of your things, recover your daggers, recover, maybe bandage up any wounds or anything, and get ready to head out towards Scorn, which you know is just a couple of miles further through the tree line. But at that point, coming marching in single file with firm attention, about 9 to 10 soldiers wearing the Colonial Authority garb come barreling into the clearing from the direction you're about to head. And they're looking around, uncertain. Uh, the leader, with a slightly more decorative crest on his shoulders, will step forward and ask, "What's going on here? We were informed of a demon attack."
Uh, you kind of missed it. They're all dead.
They look over towards the bonfire that is at this point pretty merrily crackling away and say, the head will say, "Ah, I see. You handled this yourselves, I take it?"
Well, yeah, couldn't leave the. Unfortunately, we couldn't save his friends, but at least we have a survivor. Like, we were too late on that front, unfortunately.
Interesting. Our man told us quite clearly that we should only expect demons and a witch. Hmm. The fact that there are so many of you defies his report.
Well, to be fair, I think your guy ran off before the rest of us showed up. So, like, we just heard screams and we just came running.
The head of this contingency, which human male, 30s or 40s in age, blonde hair that's tight beneath his like snappy, very crisp hat with its brim, will just look out at your group, kind of gauge each one of you, The last one he gauges is the 7-foot tall bear creature, and he just glares and sizes you up, Middendorfy.
Is it customary here to try and pick a fight with demon slayers?
Demon slayers. Quite. Very well. I see that our job here is done. There is no more demons left to fight. He'll turn to Yumesh and say, we appreciate your service to the Empire in this method. We appreciate your saving of one of our citizens. If you would be so kind, may we guide you back towards the village so that we can tend to your injuries and take the fallen.
That would be appreciated, thanks.
Very well, Min, and he will give a couple of claps, and some of the lower-ranking soldiers will come out around and begin to sort of form an honor guard sort of thing around you all as you begin to take this cart and all of you towards the village. You will see there's 9 soldiers, 5 of you, plus the head. I'll say every single one of you is flanked left and right by a soldier as you are marched into the village.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, if you guys want to take like a quick 5-minute break before we do the last scene, that'll be fine.
Okie doke.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna grab a beer to cool down.
Alrighty.